So it's about the middle of March now, and it's time for me to get some seed sowing done. I've got them all in my handy little tub here, and I've also bought some new propagators online. I quite like these because they're quite small, so they'll fit in nicely on the window ledges indoors. And I've also got a couple that have got these little LED lights in the top. I'm not sure how well they'll work or if they'll even make that much difference, but I thought I'd give them a try and find out because they weren't too expensive. And I thought maybe I could do like a little test. I could put some cosmos without the light and some cosmos with the light and see which grows better. And then I'll know how well they work. I've also got this heat pad that I'm going to squeeze them all on the window ledge. So, what am I going to sow? This tomato variety, Sweet Success F1. I grew this last year and I quite liked it. They were like quite big cherry tomatoes. I'm not sure I've got many seeds left of this. I know I saved some for the next year, but I've also want to grow a few annuals this year. I've got these Black-Eyed Susan seeds that I want to grow up the wall, up the side of the garden. It says on the packet to soak them overnight, so that's what I've done in this little egg cup here. I've also got some cosmos seeds that I want to sow. I had some spare seeds left over that I thought I'd give a shot, but after having a second look at them, after Ali mentioned it in the comments that some cosmos can get quite big, these ones actually get up to 1.2 metres, and I think that's going to be a little bit too big for my garden. So what I've done is I found a couple of other varieties that I'm going to try out. This one is Cosmos Rubinato, and I quite like the look of this. It only grows up to, it says 50 centimetres on here, so quite short. And it said that it was also one that branched well and made a lot of flowers, and it sort of had this deep red colour that lightened up over time, so you get this sort of combination of pinks and purples on one plant, and I thought that sounded lovely, so I'm going to give that a go. I've also just bought a mixture of Dwarf mix cosmos. I think there might be like Sonata mix or something like that. I thought they'd be quite good too. I think they probably grow to like a similar height to the other one. What else have I got here? I also got some Zinnia seeds because I did have some Zinnia seeds left over, but again, Zinnias can get quite big and bushy, and I have a tiny garden, and I think I'm just trying to fit a bit too much in. I got this Zinnia raspberry lemonade mix, which is supposed to be like a shorter variety. It's a mixture of different colours, so it would be quite bright, but without taking up too much room. Maybe I'll put around the edges of the border at the front. What else? This poppy. It says it's best to sow outdoors, so I'm going to do that, but not quite yet. I think that's about it, really. So, I know zinnias don't like their roots disturbed, so I'm going to just do one per module, and then I don't have to disturb them too much when I pop them up. So that's them all sown. I'm going to give them a little water with my little watering can. There you are, there's my first set of seeds for this year, all set up on the window ledge, and they're new little trays. I had to put bags over these because the tray wouldn't fit over the pots. I didn't quite think that one through, but that'll do all right. I've got my heat pad on underneath, and these are the two with the lights on the lid. So I've plugged them in, and they've got a little USB here, but I'm not going to turn them on until they've germinated. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some little seedlings soon. So it's Tuesday morning now. I'm just about to leave for work, and I sowed these Saturday afternoon, so it's not even been 3 days, But I noticed that they're all starting to come through now. That's the cosmos. And the zinnias. So I've put the lights on these ones because they're coming through now as well. So yeah, exciting. So it's been a couple of days since I last checked my little seedlings, and I just thought I'd come up here quickly before I go to work again. So I had the lids on with the lights for these two and not these two, and these are the same variety and these are the same variety. And to be honest, I'm not sure I'm noticing much difference in the growth. I think they've all come up so quickly that it hasn't really had a chance to make much difference. I guess where they're cosmos, yeah, maybe it'd be better for different smaller seedlings and ones that need a bit of light to help them germinate. But they're all quite tall. I need to get some light on them really. I've got these ones which should be a bit better, which I'm going to put on them, and I've taken all the lids off now. I really want to get them in the greenhouse where there's a bit more light to stop them getting leggy, as these will get leggy really easily. But I think I'll leave them in here for a couple more days first, without the heat pad and with this light on. So it's Saturday morning now, and I thought I'd just come check on my seeds. It's been a couple of days since I took the lid off, and I haven't really checked on them, and they are all bone dry. Oops, these zinnias are not happy, they've all fallen over. Got something coming through there though. So I've got my watering can, and I didn't want to just like to throw a load of water on top of them, so I've filled all the trays up with water underneath, and I'm just going to leave them now to soak up that water. I think I'm going to move my seedlings onto this shelf here in the greenhouse, and I'm going to put some heat pads on here to keep them nice and warm so they don't get too cold in here. But I need to have a bit of a tidy up first, make a bit of room. There's quite a lot going on in here. I think there's probably some stuff I can move outside now. I think also I might take the bubble wrap off too, because that will help let a bit more light in. It's still getting cold, but not too cold, so might leave. I think I'm going to leave the back wall on this year because that's against the hedge anyway, so I don't get any light through there, and that's one of the fiddliest bits to do, so it'll be good not to have to do that again this year or mess around with it. So yeah, it's quite windy today, so it'd be nice to have an indoor greenhouse sorting type of job. I've got my canners down here. I did give them a little water. They are starting to come through now, look at that. And there's a bit of growth there. I've taken the bubble wrap off now, so it's much brighter in here now, which will be good for my little seedlings. It does look like it could do with a little clean though. So here they are. They should get a lot more light now, so that will stop them getting any leggier. And I've also put them on a heat pad here. Tells you what the current temperature is. I've put the little temperature thingy in there, and I've set it to 20, but there's only so much it can raise the temperature. But that should be plenty warm enough for them, so it won't be too much of a shock coming out here. I'll probably sow some more soon, and I'm thinking maybe I'll just do them straight in the greenhouse, and with the little lids on, that will keep them a bit warmer for germination. So I've also got this little heater down here, which will only come on when this thermostat here, which is connected to my Wi-Fi, goes below 4ish. Now that it's getting into April, we haven't had too many days with it below that sort of temperature, but we're definitely still hovering around that point, and there could well be quite a few cold snaps below there still in April, so that should keep everything warm enough in here. So I've just popped in here before I go to work again, and I've noticed the little seeds are coming through now. I don't know if you can see that. That's the Thunbergia. So it's been about 10 days since I sowed that now, and I was starting to worry, but I guess they just take a little bit longer. So hopefully a few more will come through as well. And tomatoes, I've got a couple coming through there now as well. So that's good. I've expanded my little seedling setup in the greenhouse. I've put another heat pad on this side, and I've put my tomato seedlings and the Thunbergia, which has now come through in here. And I've also sowed some more seeds, some cosmos and zinnias, and they're already coming up, and I sowed them, what, 2 days ago? So that's good. I thought I'd put this little lid on it so then it will keep it warm enough, and it has done. It stayed above 20 overnight, so that's perfect. Though now the sun's out, it's getting a bit too hot in there. So I'm going to take the lid off during the day today, put it back on overnight. So I've just popped in the greenhouse quickly to check on my seedlings, and I've noticed these tomatoes are growing very well and hitting the top of the propagator now. So I want to take these out really and put those two onto separate pots, but I don't really have anywhere warm to put them on the heat mats once I've done it. I've sort of run out of space here, and I think I still want them on the heat pads because it still gets a bit chilly at night. So I think what I'm going to do is take these Foxgloves that don't really need the warmth. I've just put them on there to bring them on a bit, because these are supposed to flower in their first year. And they're so small, I think, how is that going to happen? So, I mean, I'm not sure it will. But what I'm going to do is take these off and put them into these 9cm pots here. And then I've made a little bit of room in my cold frame, and I'll put the Foxgloves in there, so they'll still have a bit of protection, a bit of warmth to help them grow a bit quicker. But it will free up some room on my heat pad where I can put my tomatoes. So there they are. I've just managed to fit them all on this tray, which is good. All in their own pots. So I'm going to give them a little bit of water and then just pop them in there. Now the tomatoes have got their own little pots and the warmth of that heat pad. There's one last thing I wanted to do. These pelargonium here, these I took from cuttings last year, and they've done quite well. And I was looking at this one thinking it's all tall and lanky. Maybe I should cut it back and take a few more cuttings from it and get a few more plants. And then I saw someone on YouTube who had turned their pelargoniums into a standard. I think it's quite a common thing you can do. And I thought, well, actually, maybe I could put a stick on it, pinch out all those side shoots, take off those flowers as well. I think I need to take the flowers off all of these, help encourage them to grow. They don't really want to be putting their energy into flowering right now. And yeah, maybe I could put a stick in there and grow it as a standard. Let's get those out of the way. Find a suitable stick. Maybe that one will do for now. I only need a short one. Maybe down there. Pinch out all these side shoots. Pinch out the flower. Get a bit of string. Right, standard pelargonium. Let's see what happens. I've also bought this bowl. It's called a fireball lily or a Scadoxus multiflorus. I just saw it in a catalogue when I was looking for other plants, and it makes like this big red ball flower, and I just thought it looked quite cool. So I thought I'd buy it and just put it in a pot as a bit of a little like novelty plant. I don't think it flowers for very long, but I think it's going to look a bit different. Might go for this nice terracotta pot. It's an interesting looking bulb. Some pebbles in the bottom just to help with drainage. Put it in, pointy side up. Go. So I'll give it a bit of water, and then I'll bring it inside somewhere a bit warmer until it starts shooting, and then I'll bring it out here where it can get a bit of light.